up, Celtic Nation? What up, Green Team? Is this your boy BITO back on the couch with another recap reaction to last night's game, dog? And unfortunately, we caught an L to the Grizzlies last night, man. We fell to 19-5, 10-3 at home. The Grizzlies beat us 127-121. Marcus Smart returned. He had 3 points in his return. Ja Morant went off and had 32. Jared Jackson Jr. had 27. Desmond Bane had 14. Brendan Clark, who returned from his injury, had 18. And the only person that had single-digit scoring was somebody named Jalen Wells with 7 points. Now, they played a hell of a game, dog. Unfortunately, we couldn't spoil Marcus Smart return back to the Garden, and they got a dub on us. Ja Morant had a nasty slam baseline on Derek White and Porzingis, which, I think that kind of spelled out how that game was going to go. This game was rather difficult to call and see. I think for me, I feel like personally, I think they weren't really just focused on the defensive end. This is a situation where I think we beat ourselves again. It wasn't like they outplayed us. No, they did outplay us because they got loose balls. They out-hustled us. They just kind of just made us look soft last night. But I will say, though, that this is in the account for the fact that we did play back-to-back nights. We do jack a lot of threes, and sometimes when it's in those situations, you're not going to have your best shooting performances, and I think last night was the case the same way. We shot 63s last night, 30% from 18 threes, which we still hit our average, but it resulted in an L, and we put up 60 with our field goal percentage being 40% from the field. And then the Grizzlies, who shot 50% from the field and 45% from three, taking half the threes that we took, they made 15. That's a recipe for winning. And they actually just out-hustled us and played better just overall. Our highs tonight, which is funny, like we had all of our starters score double digits in scoring, but it didn't look like it. Like it's one of those, like, it was a close game and we were playing with them and like we made a run, we make a comeback, but I think they just had a lot more firepower, and it's just a prime example of us running out of gas too. Like hopefully we get some breaks and we get some rest and stuff. And I don't think we had Al Horford playing tonight either as well too. Yeah, we didn't have Al playing, so that was a big part on why like the Jaren Jackson Jr.'s were going off and the Brendan Clarks were going off. But like they looked good last night. I'm not gonna lie. Like I know I'm supposed to kind of rant about the Celtics and stuff, but the Grizzlies looked surprisingly well last night. They improved to 16-5. They're 5-5 on the road, but I really liked how they looked, man. They're young, athletic, they play physical, and they're a very disciplined team. But with that being said, though, going back to the Celtics, I mean, this is a run in the mill right here. I mean, it's 5 losses. We got 3 more stops until 74-8 stops becoming a thing. But every loss we've had, man, it's been under 6 points. You know what I mean? I will stand on that. We beat ourselves in every game. It's not like teams are handling us in a way where I'm like, damn, that could be like a team that we should worry about. It's more like, all right, what can the Celtics do better moving forward to the next game? Or how do they deal with these situations on a night of a back-to-back when they have to, dig deep within and find ways to win other than jacking they're going to jack the 63s regardless, but finding those other ways to win. Like, do they lock in more defensively? Do they pay attention more to the defensive assignments and their switches? Like, do they crash and get offensive rebounds and stuff like that? Like, things that stood out to me was Jaren Jackson Jr. Like, he was a matchup problem for us last night, but I also feel like having Al in that rotation will change all of that. But because we don't have Al, you have guys like Jaylen Brown guarding him. You had Drew Holiday guarding him because for some reason none of our bigs could mess with him. He was scoring on Porzingis. He was going by Cornette. He was eating up Keita, which for me with Keita it's just inexperience. You know what I mean? Like Jared Jackson's an All-NBA player, Defensive Player of the Year, so he's a different caliber type of player. So I'm not gonna judge Keita for that or be like, oh, like you need somebody else to stop him. It's just one of those, what do you do to improve the next time you run into these situations? Because once again, it's a long season, it's a long grind, and there's going to be a lot more games where you're having back-to-backs or your legs are going to be a little tired. So what other ways are the Celtics going to find ways to win in situations like this? Because once again, it's only a 6-point difference, so they have to be able to just get those stops when needed, plug in the right lineups when needed, figure out the matchup that they can take advantage of. It's all those factors that play into it where I think at the end of the day, we'll be all right. Like, I know probably 98.5 was killing them for taking 63s and why they doing this and why they doing that. And this is why I do the channel too, is because instead of going to 98.5, sometimes you come to the couch and we can just relax, take it easy, decompress, think about what things could be done to be better. Because at the end of the day, we're still a championship caliber team. We lost to a team that may or may not even be in the conference finals. The West is always a wild, wild West show. So it's like losing to a team out West, I'm not going to put too much stock in it. Like, we're still a dominant team in the East. We still show our dominance. And even with these games being how they were, we found ways to win. And you're going to have these one-off nights where you're not going to get the dub and the team's going to get the best of you. It's an 82-game season. So I'm not mad about that at all. I mean, if we're sitting at 19-5, 10-3 at home, what as Celtics fans do we have to complain about? I don't think we have anything to complain about, dog. Like, yeah, we don't like losing. Nobody likes to lose. But either way, we know at the end of the day, do we want to win this game tonight or last night, or do we want to hold up the trophy and be where we're at the end of the year in June? I think we all prefer to hold up that trophy and have a repeat season and raise another banner up going into 2025. I think that's what we all prefer. So we're well over 500 basketball. I think we're the most dominant team in the East. I think no team is beating us in a 7-game series. It's very difficult to do. I think we're on pace to kind of do the same thing that we did last year as far as how our playoff run goes. Now, granted, if we're healthy and everything, but I mean, once again, I think any team that's really going to beat us in a series is gonna have to beat us in a game where, like, they're having a great night, they're blowing their whole load, and, like, they're shooting the best that they've ever shot, and we're having an off night. Because as I've screamed since the beginning of the season, I think the only way we lose is if we really beat ourselves. And so far out of the 5 losses, I can stand on the fact that we beat ourselves. Going back to, some people that stood out now, all of our starters scored double figures in scoring. Peyton Pritchard bounced back after having 0 points the other night with 22, 6 threes. He's been, 6 rebounds, dog, 2 assists, 1 steal. Like, Pritchard, man, he's really been somebody that, like, has impressed me personally, because I used to doodle on Pritchard all the time. I was one of those dudes like, trade him for, like, Alex Caruso and stuff like that. And here, we're honest, dog. Like, it wasn't because he was a bad player. I just think that he was just undersized and he was a mismatch problem. But the way we're weaponizing him this year, dog, and the way that we're just unleashing him out there just to do what he does, like, he's more comfortable with getting in the paint and doing what he's doing. Like, I see a lot more improvement in Pritchard's game than I had the previous 3 or 4 years, and I'm loving it, man. I'm really loving it now. As far as the Tres Leche cakes go, Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser. Hauser gave us 0 tonight. Luke gave us 3. I think there could be a little bit more improvement production-wise with that, but, I mean, once again, you're not going to get the best out of those guys every single night, which I still feel like releasing Lonnie Walker kind of kills us in that matter, because I feel like he can make up for, like, a Hauser having a bad night, and you don't have to go double big with Kada and Cornett. So I would have liked to keep Lonnie Walker there. You know what I'm saying? Going back to that a little bit, but it is what it is. Drew Holiday, back-to-back nights of 20, which is pretty funny. I said that Drew Holiday, if he gives us 21 night, you might have to wait 3 games for him to give us another 20, but he gave us 23 last night, so that's fine. I'm not mad about that. Damn, he took 17 threes last night. That's a lot of I didn't know he took that many threes. Like, all of our starters, besides Jaylen Brown and Derek White, they combined for, let's see, I'm bugging right now, 37 threes. They combined for right now. They combined for 37 threes between Porzingis with 10, Tatum with 10, and Holiday with 17. That's insane. That is insane. 3 players took 30 threes. That's half of what we took. That is nuts. I didn't even peep that until I'm looking at this right now. But, yeah, I'm cool with that, man. I'm not mad about them losing. I'm not upset with the loss. Shit happens. You can't win them all, but I get it. Nobody likes to lose. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's talk about these Celtics all day, baby, because it's what we're here to do, too. I do the music as well, too, but I love talking about Celtics and I love talking hoop. So we'll be back with more. Peace.